Hi, I'm Elizabeth with Oliver Smith Jeweler, and today I'm going to review Panerai's new eSteel Luminors announced in 2021. At the end of this video, you will know if these new eco-friendly watches are the right watch for your wrist. I'm super excited to have all three of Panerai's new Luminor eSteel editions to show you. These watches were all announced in 2021 as a part of Panerai's Year of Sustainability. Every year, Panerai has been giving a theme to their new releases for the year, and 2021 is focused on sustainability. It's an amazing initiative taken by Panerai. As we know, Panerai is super close to the oceans. Lots of their watches are dive watches, and they've really created this initiative to make watches out of more sustainable materials and make watchmaking last, for years to come. There's three different pieces that were announced as part of this collection. On the left, we have the green dial, which is the PAM01356. In the middle is the blue dial, the PAM01157. And on the right, we have a gray dial, which is the PAM01358. Now, what makes all three of these watches unique is they're the first watches released using Panerai's eSteel. eSteel is a steel that is made of 89 grams or a little over 58% of recycled steel. And I definitely don't think this will be the last time we see eSteel or recycled materials from Panerai. What also makes all three of these watches unique is they all have a gradient dial. So lighter color up top, graduating to a darker color at the bottom. Now, as we go into more detail, I'm going to focus on the 1157, the blue dial, so I can get, up closer and show you some of the details of what's happening. Some quick facts about all three of these watches. They're all 44 millimeter. They're all made of steel, like I talked about, that eSteel material, brushed steel on the side, polished steel around the bezel. I personally love that combination because it makes this watch easy to dress up, but it also is a sports watch for every day. The watch is 15.45 millimeters thick. This is a classic Panerai size, the 44 millimeter, and houses an automatic movement in there that I'll go into more detail about. Let's talk about the color on the dial. This is a really rich color. It's a gradient dial. So up top, you're gonna see the blues a little bit softer, and it gets darker as we work our way down to the 6 o'clock. This is very much looks like what you see in the ocean when you're diving, and as it gets darker, you go down to darker depths. Like I mentioned, the color in person looks more rich than in the photos. To me, it's almost like someone painted it on. It's a really beautiful color, and I think will really, make a nice statement on the wrist. All of these watches have a sandwich dial. So what that means is we have the blue dial on top, and then Panerai laser cuts out these numbers and dashes to reveal an entire dial of superluminova beneath that white superluminova we're seeing. That's going to make this luminescence even brighter for you if you're to dive in this watch, or if you're like me, you just notice it when you walk into a dark room. We have a date here at 3 o'clock, and then a continuing seconds hand here at 9 o'clock. Up at the top, we have Luminor Marina written, and then Panerai, and then down here it says eSteel with a green E on it. Now, when these watches were released, I think that was the most contested feature of this. Some people liked the dial signed, and a lot of people weren't really sure why it was done. I have to tell you, seeing it in person, I barely noticed it. I was so distracted by the gradient color of this and like the white and the blue working together that it was not a big deal for me. This watch is a Panerai Luminor. The Luminor collection all has this iconic crown guard here on the side. This locks in the crown and makes it watertight. Another great detail about this watch is they all have rubberized crowns with the same color as the dial. A really small detail that, again, I actually noticed this more in person than I did in photos. And what I love about it is the feeling of it. It's rubber. Sometimes, rotating a crown, when you get the teeth on a crown, it can you feel it in your hand. It doesn't hurt, but you definitely notice it. But this definitely feels like rubber, you can kind of squeeze it a little bit more. And it's just a nice feeling and just a difference that makes this watch unique. The movement is a 90-10 movement. This movement is very easy to set and work with. So if we open up our crown guard and I come to the first position,
It's going to allow us to manipulate our hours hand, and that is also how you change the date. Notice the date can roll both forward and backwards, so you never have to worry about breaking the date or messing it up. And then pull this all the way out to the second position, and I can change everything together. A really easy movement to work with, 72-hour power reserve on that. The straps are unique to these watches as well. They're new for the watches, and each strap is the same color as the dial. So this is a blue PET that's recycled strap. And it comes with Panerai's easy push pin release system. You push a button on the back and pop that pin out. Makes it really easy to change the strap yourself. This watch has a solid case back, also marked with eSteel. Expected retail on these watches is $8,700, and we're expecting to see them late 2021, hopefully October. So please, if you have any questions on any of the eSteel pieces, leave them below, and make sure to follow us so you can stay up to date on the latest Panerai videos.